Yeah, the DD is perfect. Yeah, so this is gonna be the part of like this is what we have planned for today. But
Yes,
before that, I
this
want
is
to
going to be the part of
check
this, like
if
this
there's
is
some
what we have
changes.
planned for today.
But
Yes,
before that, I
this
want to
is going to be the part of
check
this, like
if
this
there's
is
some
what we have
changes.
planned for today.
But
Yes,
before that, I
this
want to
is going to be the part of
check
this, like
if
this
there's
is
some
what we have
changes.
planned.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, I just want to make sure like this stream is also available when I'm like on what we say. Um, I think shorts, YouTube shorts. So I'll move this to the other screen and like let's try that. Uh, so, want your okay, so yeah, this is not something that we can do now because like okay, let's skip the shorts part. Let's try and work it out with this only. I'll move the things that we currently don't need on the screen over here so I can just check out whenever needed. Um, okay, so yeah, this is my first time that I'm streaming on YouTube. What I'm trying to do is like today I'll be mostly working. I'm not working. I'll be exploring a new database that I have found, like a new service called Convex database. So I was planning to make my own portfolio site, and I have thought of some features. Um, one is like a live chat in it, and I was first at start like in the start I was planning to use like socket.io, but then like one of my friend had recently suggested me for a like the recent hackathon video that I had uploaded on my other channel. Yeah, on that like one of my friend had recently suggested me like to use what we say um to use Convex like for the backend because we had a chat feature in that thing also. So now what I was like planning is like let me try and learn Convex everything, and we will be implementing it today. Maybe like if we get time, we'll first explore the whole documentation and like try all of the features, everything, all of the functions. Uh, and then later on, we can try and make a chat app, real-time chat app that like a person can log in using, say, their Google account and like then search for the person's ID, like with them whom they want to chat. Or like just add the other person's Google account, or like we'll have a username function, like each of them. Like so the person can directly search a person by username and then like send a connect request. And once they have accepted the connect request, they can chat like back and forth. So yeah, that's what I'm planning now. So let's see. So the stream will last around like say 2 to 3 hours mostly if we like are able to do the real-time chat app also. But I'll just turn on the AC because it's like there's so much mosquitoes over here. I forgot to turn on the video. I don't keep the perfect distance. So first we'll be going through all the documentation. We'll be trying all of the things in that this, like so y'all can learn it with me. Y'all can also open Convex website and like can do it together. Recently, I had seen a similar stream by one of the YouTuber, and I was like, I have to try this. Um, so yeah, Convex indeed. So this is it. Um, not just a database, everything you product deserves uh, to build, launch, and scale. One second, let me just check the audio. If it's working properly. Today there's a small, like a bit of a slight problem in my area, like for the internet, so the stream might lag somewhat, but we should be able to manage it. The stream might lag somewhat, but oh yeah, it's working in a bit. Yeah, works. Okay, this is my first stream, so I don't expect a lot of users over here, but like, let's see. Sometimes it might work. Uh, okay, so this is like a the okay, so we'll directly go to like one thing is like we'll just log in first, and in the other part we'll open the documentation. We'll also simultaneously log in with there's my Gmail if it is available or GitHub. Let's use GitHub. Yeah, yes, and it was. Okay, so it might take a bit longer time for me to like just wrap up everything in my brain. So yeah, please bear with me. Um, So yeah, everything is done over there. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll start. Um, yeah, we'll try this, and also we'll read everything. Um, First we'll see like what we can do is like we can this can be implemented with all of the frameworks that we are like most commonly use like React, React Native, Next.js. These are like the ones that I use mostly, then scripted and like normal HTML, CSS, JavaScript website. You can also integrate it with your backend like in Node.js. It's good. Favorite languages like Python, JavaScript, these are like the most common that I use. And also I'm trying to learn Rust. So yeah, there is that. Like I never use like Kotlin or Swift. So that's I'm not sure. Right. We are not playing a video in a video. So why convex, intro to convex and all of this, like we'll read all of it. And let's see what can be done. Uh, this is the tutorial. So in this tutorial, I guess we'll be building a chat app, but this is not like how I plan. This is like a basic chat app, like which that two people, I guess. Like I have like a complete authentication, everything planned. And uh, this thing also has like their own authentication stuff, and like you can use their backend to do authentication, like how we use supervised auth and all. So they have convex auth also. Uh, One second, like we'll go to the main convex page again. Instructive. Yeah, so see real-time database like authentication. Uh, I don't know, like generate high quality convex code with AI. Okay, they have their own AI. Then like it's open source. But okay, let's compare Superbase and this because most commonly I use Superbase. So data store and database, open source, both are open source. Cloud functions, both are cloud functions. File storage, they have options like file storage, like show images or objects. I mean, not objects, kind of like yeah, how AWS, what do you say, buckets are there or like Superbase storage. Then React support, both support React. Relational database they support. Transaction by default, transaction by default, yeah, added. Real-time native. I guess there's an option to make Superbase also real-time, but I never used it. Or I might have used it in one of the projects, but I didn't like use it. Like I didn't go to explore it more. So yeah. Live development environment. Okay. Built-in schema enforcement, native auth. Both have that. I have to like Superbase auth over there. Um, yeah. So SQL support and Postgres extensions, no, and edge functions are not. See, like if you want, you can use Superbase, but like I'm trying to learn something new and like I want to do the chat app. So like yeah, this is what I want to use in it. So I'm gonna explore this. Like it depends on what you're building and how you're. Most commonly, I use Superbase, but like I'm trying to shift from Superbase to AWS now because like if I wanna say launch a project on Superbase, like it's like you have to pay monthly $25 or something, right? So AWS like I think so it's like pay as you go and all. So I want something like that for most of my projects because in the initial phase anyways like people don't you don't have traffic, you don't have like much of like use of the database and all. Uh, it's only there because like all of the items in the website needs to be loaded, like all the images needs relation and all of that. So I don't feel the use of Superbase in the initial time, but like AWS is like much more like less expensive or affordable kind of because you don't have to pay upfront of like $25 or anything on AWS, right? So that is it. So what we'll do is like we'll go get this all of it like in the final stuff. So like in the start we can do two things. So it's like one is like a build a chat app. It's like a complete tutorial, or we can do like understanding the whole convex thing. Um, so what we'll do is like we'll first understand everything like how Convex works and all of it, and then we'll be doing the chat app. And this is like a basic chat app. We'll be building a chat app with like all authentication, and like you can how Discord works. Discord is like a way more complex. This like we'll try to stick to um, less complex basic auth and basic like user base kind of which will yeah, we'll see later on. Like we'll discuss about it and we'll work. Uh, so yeah, let's try. Okay, so what is Convex? Convex is an open source reactive database where queries are TypeScript codes running in right in the database. Just like React components, React to state change, Convex queries react to database changes. Okay. Convex provides a database, a place to write your server functions and client libraries. It makes it easy to build and scale dynamic live updating apps. Following diagram shows like the three-tier app architecture of Convex enables. Okay, so we'll start with the bottom and work our way towards the top of the diagram. So like there's a database, then the server functions, then WebSocket, and the client library in the web, like the Convex library that connects everything to the Convex database, like to internet. Mhm. So yeah, just a second. So yeah, so database is like the core of Convex. Convex database automatically provisions is automatically provisioned when you create a project and there is no connection setup or cluster management. Uh, so in Convex, your database queries are just TypeScript codes written in your server functions. There is no SQL to write and there is no ORM needed. So, like by the intro part, what we get is like, say, how there are states like how to say new state or something like that, or like there's like just now say I forgot some of the part in React. Um, forgot the thing like on change like it reacts to it. So once you open a page, say, or like once you click a particular button, there's a it has a snippet of code that runs like in React. Say, I forgot which hook it is. Uh, you on effect, use effect or something like that. Use effect, I guess. So it's similar to that. Like say whenever there's a change in the database, the TypeScript queries will like keep on checking, and once there's a change, it will send a response back to your website and it will update the website with the new updated changes. So indirectly, you don't have to keep on like sending requests from the web app to like the backend to keep a track of like all the changes. Anytime there's a change in the database will automatically like, itself send updated transaction to the web app. This is like what I got till now from it. Um, so yeah, let's explore. Let's see. So convex database is it's reactive. Whenever data on which the query depends changes, the query reruns and the client subscriptions are updated. Yeah, so this is what I just said. Um, Convex is a document relation database. Document means you put JSON like nested objects into your database. Relational means you have tables with relation, like task assigned to a user using IDs to reference document in the table. So it's like document relational database. So there's a document which means like you have a JSON like nested objects into your database. And there's like a relation, which means like there are tables with relations, like task assigns to your users using user ID or like using IDs to reference document into the table. So Convex Cloud offering runs from on top tier Amazon RDS using MySQL as an persistent layer. The open source version of SQLite, um, Postgres, and MySQL. Okay, so the database is an ACID compliant and uses serializable isolation and optimistic concurrency control. Yeah, this is all like the basic thing that we learn in DBMS. I forgot most of this part. Like, let's just see what is the full form of the ACID. Yeah, so atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. What is it? Transaction is treated as a single invisible unit. Either all of its operations are completed successfully or none of them are. Okay. A transaction brings the database from one valid state to another without violating the rules of constraints. Okay, so atomicity is like every transaction is treated as a single individual unit. So either all of the operations in the transactions complete or none of them complete, are taken as like none of them are taken at the end. Like none of the like any one of them doesn't complete successfully. Consistency is like a transaction brings the database from one valid state to another without any rule or breaking any violating a rule or constraint. So in this, like say, there's one user in the database, and we run an insert query on the front end, and when we run that, like we have to make sure that all of the rules that are um, there to like say user names length or like a password that we store, all of that like have some kind of rules, right? So all of them are followed and none of them are violated. So it's like from one state to another without breaking any rule, and like at the end it's like the whole database is stable. Isolation. What is concurrent transaction? Do not. Okay. Concurrent transaction. What is it? What is isolation? So concurrent transactions do not interfere with each other. The output of the concurrent transaction should be same as if they were executed one after another. Okay. Transactions do not interfere with each other. So like transactions like that are going on together like at the same time do not interfere with each other, and like they execute as if they were how to say uh, are being executed one after another. So how I can explain it is like say there are two three people trying to how to say uh, interact with the database, and when they are doing it they are like doing simultaneously, right? So people are trying to get data, update data, and all of it. So what isolation does is it ensures that like none of them interfere with each other, and there is no like there are some this right. So one person is trying to update, one person is trying to get data. So everybody gets their response, and there's like none of the transactions are getting halted or anything like. they all work concurrently together. Example, one transaction cannot see the uncommitted changes of the another. Yeah. So uh, if there's a person trying to update a database and there's another person trying to get something from the database, and this guy is like currently pushing it, and the other person is simultaneously getting the new data. So what this guy has updated, the other person won't be able to see it until and unless after the person has updated the database, the other person again refreshes the site and again puts the query to get a new updated this data. Durability. So what is it? Once the transaction has been committed, its changes are permanent and will survive any subsequent system failure, such as power outage and crashes. Yeah, this is like the normal thing, like everything is stored in the disk and nothing changes until and unless everything's like erased. Yeah, so that's like the asset properties of database. Um, So all that to say, the Convex provides a stricter possible translational transactional guarantee, and you never see inconsistent data. Okay, so server functions. When you create a Convex project, you automatically get a Convex slash folder where you write your server functions. This is where all your backend application logic and database query code lives. Example, TypeScript server function that reads query and writes to the database. Reads, that is queries the database, and writes, that is mutates the database, like the mutation. Uh, so convex slash tasks dot ts. I guess this is like a to-do list or whatever, some kind of application. Um, so export const get all tasks. So query arguments, uh, handle handler inside arguments and versus uh, the query the database to get all the items that are not completed. Okay, and const task is equal to await dot c2x dot tv task with index by completed. I guess this is a row, which we make sure that there is equal the query row is equal to completed, and the completed is false. Okay, I guess this is how to say filter kind of. It's not a row. So completed is the row, and like this is like the true or false value. So if it's completed true, then it won't be shown, and if it's like false, then all of those will be listed and not collect. Okay, it will take some time because normally I don't read this like it's been a long time. I have worked on front end and like back end. Currently, I was working on like some other things. Uh, Last was, I guess, I had done the internship for like, my college internship. I had made a React Native app. That was like the last full thing, like a full UI and a front end that I had worked on. Okay, so export const set task completed. Okay, so what this does is like it updates like every task whenever say you um, press like or like you take a task as completed, it will update it in the database. Like it will say that the completed is to update the row for that task ID. Okay. You read and write your to your database through query or mutation functions. Query functions are pure functions that can only read from the database. And mutation functions are transactions that can read or write to the Okay, so queries are only read functions and mutations are read and write from the database. The two database functions are not allowed to take any non-deterministic actions like network request or to ensure a transactional guarantee. Mutation function is a transaction. There is no begin and end or end transaction statement to write. Convex automatically retries the function on conflict, and you don't have to manage anything. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, so yeah, I'll take a 2 second break. I just need to like just check. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, so yeah, what we'll do is like we'll continue. I just have to answer one like I just have to attend a call for like 2 minutes and like I'll be back. Let's just Okay, so yeah, I'm back now, and like let's get going with it. Like let's continue. So what we'll be doing is yeah, like so we understood like this is like the normally how you interact with like the desk database. So this is like a task database in which you try to uh check for the task, and then like also you how to say said a task is completed, and in this like you only print out the tasks that are not completed. And yeah, so that's all we had read last time. So Convex also provides a standard general purpose serverless functions called actions. Action functions can make network requests, and they have a call query or mutation function to read and write to the database, and you use actions to call LLMs or send emails. Okay, so we skipped some of the part of it. Like let's read all of it one by one. So currently we are like in the basic part, so later on we'll read it. Okay, so you can also durably schedule convex functions via scheduler or cron jobs. Scheduling lets you build workflow like emailing to a new user uh, a day later if they haven't performed onboarding task. Okay, so like this is say uh, mostly you commonly get like those email notifications or like WhatsApp notifications saying like you have items in your cart, or like you just search for this item, are you interested, something like that from Amazon or Flipkart. It's like the same thing. So say a user went to one of your service page or a product page, and then like they have left it at that, and they are logged in user, like you have their all the contact information. So then like you can schedule tasks like based on the condition, saying like if there's a user who has like visited this page and then like not again like process the order or something like that, you can just send a reminder, or like if they have some items in their cart and like um, what do we say? They have not ordered checked out the products, and like they have not ordered it or processed it. So you can send them a mail, or you can give them a small offer like saying 2% discount. It depends like on the business. Mostly Amazon would send you like the items in your cart, and then like maybe you forward something or like in that way. Or what's like Swiggy does, like the notification, it keeps on sending like notifications, Swiggy and Zomato. Uh, the funny kind of sarcastic notifications that they keep sending um, to the users. Like that also can be like done by scheduler. You can call your convex functions via client libraries or direct via HTTPS. Client library is like what you install using npm, like this part. So you install this and then initialize it, and then like you'll have the convex folder in which like you'll have all your others. In this, like you'll have to enter your convex domain, like whatever they'll give you now. Mostly it's kept in the environmental file, and you'll be using an environmental variable over here, calling the environmental variable. Um, so yeah, we'll see this later. This is for React while using Convert with React. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole difference between supervisor and it. Okay, so next one. So client libraries. Yeah, the one that we just shared was like the React and Convex. So you like you state hook that updates your React component when the local state changes. The convex use query hook automatically updates the component when the result in your query changes. There are no manual description management or state synchronization needed. Okay, this is that only. So whenever like normally how in your use state, whenever say your input text you change, like anything in your input you change, uh, then it also changes like the state variable value, right? So in the same way, the convex, whenever your convex database changes, and like you have queried that thing in the front end, right? So the hook will automatically update the component whenever there is a change in your query's data. So there is no need for a manual subscription management or like state synchronization. When calling query functions, the client library subscribes the result of the function. Convex tracks the dependencies of your query function. So including what data was needed read from the database. When query functions, when calling a query function, the client library subscribes to the result of the function. And the convex tracks the dependencies of your query function, including what data was read from the database. Whenever relevant data is in the database changes, Convex automatically returns the query and sends the result to the client. Yeah, so that's the same thing that we just like whatever I spoke. Client library also queues up mutation in the memory to send to the server. As mutation execute and causes query results to update, the client library keeps your app state consistent and it updates the subscriptions to the same logical movement in time in the database. So every time there's a mutation queues up in the memory, like to be sent to the server, as the mutations are executed, like it causes the query results to be updated, right? So the client library keeps your app state consistent. So like whatever your front end is there, it's like up to date, and it updates all the subscriptions to the same logical moment. Like every time there's a significant update in your database, say there's a new role, new whatever, it will update the item in the front end. So yeah, how we can explain this is say there's a to-do app, okay, and like you enter a what do we say? You create a new task in the to-do app. So after you add like one task, it won't be directly updated. Like if you don't keep on like checking the database, right? So what would be a solution to that is like you write a script that would like keep a track of all the changes in the database, and if there's like a update after every like some milliseconds, it will keep on updating it. So you don't have to do that in Convex. Convex, what it does is whenever you first time like when you as a user you open the web page, it creates a subscription which is connected to the backend, the Convex database. And every time like there's an update in the database, it via the subscription that is like created, it updates the front end also. So like your front end states are updated like based on whatever the database is. Putting it all together. In return to get all open tasks, convex query functions from earlier, convex query function from earlier um, that gets all the tasks that are not marked as completed, right? So yeah, this is the function. So yeah, let's see, learn it via a diagram. So see, this is your web app. And like when you open the app, the initial query that goes to the database is like get all open tasks. So what this does is like all the tasks that are set to false, right? It will show it to you in the database. And say you have done the task of plant new flowers. So you have planted new flowers in your garden and like you marked it as completed. So after like it is updated in the DB, like the mutation changes the DB, it shouldn't be shown in the database, like on your front end. Database, it will be there, but in the front end, it shouldn't be shown because your query was like only show me complete tasks that have the completed row as false. So once the data is updated, this query has already created a subscription between the web app and the database. So once the mutation is done, the backend database itself sends a this relevant subscribed query. So this query was subscribed to, and it reruns the relevant subscribe query when the database is like updated, and it sends the updated result to the front end. So like you don't have to manually refresh the site or like anything to get the updated result. That's it. Um, this use query hook to create to subscribe to this query, and the following happens to get an initial value. So the convex client that is the front end others, what we install like using npm and like the link between the backend and the web. So convex client sends a message to convex server to subscribe to that query. So this query is subscribed between the web app and the server. Then the convex server runs the function which reads the data from the database, and the convex server sends the message to the client with the function's result. So it will send a result, like all the false tasks to the database. Like it will first read the data from the database and it will send the message to the client with the function's result. So in case the initial result looks like this, so when the initial result is like all of this, like it will send the ID, title, and the mark completed as false. So when the mutation thing happens, like you update one of the tasks, say plant new flowers as like true, you say ticket in the this or like you mark with the button completed. So when you do that, it updates it and it push like see, Convex reruns this query to get an updated result and pushes the result to the web app via the WebSocket connector. So it automatically like after the database is updated, the database sends a query, like reruns the query that the front end was using, and it will send the updated data to the front end. Then the updated data would be this, like one of the task is done, so like a single task is there. Beyond reactivity. So convex architecture is crucial for a deeper reason. Convex does not let your app have inconsistent state at any layer of the stack. So to illustrate this, let's imagine you are building a shopping cart in an e-commerce store. Okay. So on project listing page, you have two numbers, one showing the number of items remaining in stock and another showing the number of items in your shopping cart. Okay. Every time you press add to cart, mutation is called to remove one item from the stock and add it to the shopping cart. Mutation changes the cart and runs in the transaction. So your database is always in a consistent state. The reactive database knows that a query showing the number of items in the stock and the number of items in the shopping cart both need to be updated. The queries are then are invalidated and rerun. The results are pushed to the web app via the WebSocket connection. The client library makes sure that both the queries update at the same time in the web app since they reflect a singular moment in time in your database. You never have a moment where those numbers do not add up and your app always shows consistent data. So yeah, let's just try the app, what it is. Okay, let's use Google. Okay, so we have this. Where are the items? Reset it. Okay, someone might have already like used it before, so okay, yeah, so this is it. For human and AI generated code, Convex is designed around a small set of composable abstractions with strong guarantees that result in code that is not only fast to write, it is easier to read and maintain. Whether written by a team member or an LLM, the key feature makes sure that the that you get a bug-free AI generated code. Okay, this is what I'm trying to like stop doing. I prefer writing my own scripts now because before ChatGPT, I used to like do all of the things like on my own, and that used to help me like reason better and think better. But currently, like how to say, I hate it because uh, last 2 3 years we have been like using ChatGPT excessively, and like the whole thinking process and the logical thinking thing is not working currently properly for me at least. So I'm trying to avoid like using ChatGPT and all of the AI to generate my code or scripts. So next we'll go like let's see their workflow. Let's walk through everything that needs to happen from creating a new project to launching your app. Uh, so yeah, it's like, well, what we'll do is like we'll simultaneously try test this like in VS Code. Say yeah, what's this? What else is not needed? Yeah, we need VS Code, right? Yeah, so I had my data in its paper actually, so I was doing some brush to so that's one folders in Convex, and in this like we'll create another folders. That's okay. Yeah, we'll do this. For now, I guess let's try using uh it with Node or no. We'll see. Like we'll first just run it, and yeah, Convex. We will work on which project and start the backend dev group. So we have downloaded Convex. Now what we'll do is like will npx. So just like we have to log in with your with the account. Let's log in. Device name. You see the following for which expires and open in the browser. Okay, so we'll create a project now over here. Yeah, so test is the project name. Yeah, so let's see. Developing with an add-on. So we NPX Convex dev will prompt us to creating an account if one does not exist and we will add your credentials, blah blah blah. Next is NPX Convex dev will create a project and provision new personal development deployment for this project. It also automatically added to your work folders. I'll be leading this project, so yeah, I don't mind. It's under the so this is like the database and file. So the future runs of context convex dev will know which development to connect to. And convex slash folder will be created where you will write your convex backend functions. Okay. Running the develop. Keep npx convex dev command running while you are running working on your convex app. This continuously pushes the backend code you write in your convex slash folder to your deployment. Yeah, so it's running in the backend. Um, so this continuously pushes the backend code that you're blah blah blah. So necessary tested types to up to date as you write your backend code. When you're developing with locally running development deployment, npx convex dev is also responsible for running your deployment. You can then add a new server function to your Convex backend. So yeah, let's try this. What I'll do is like in Convex folder, we'll add a new file. There's task.ts and task.ts. What we'll do is we'll import query. Yeah, query from dot slash plus But what was the problem? I use parentheses and place of braces or whatever this is, double braces, yes. Then import assuming mistakes can be a problem sometimes. We from slash address. Okay, so there will be choose export function function name there task session list. Very vertical query clear query the places the data argument that would be task list ID, which will be v dot id task lists. Properly where given task is tasks done with index of task ID. Query two, which is q dot vq And, items to take there. Pilot specifications for this. Okay, so when you write and save the code in your editor, well, let's leave it like this. This is like a TypeScript error, I guess. Uh, so yeah, this will work anyways. Okay, so what will be happening is npx.dev command type checks your code and updates the convex.generated directory. Okay. So the content of the convex directory gets uploaded to your development environment. So, yeah, this is the TypeScript code that we just wrote. Logs. That's what we just read, right? Determines tasks.get task list and then public query function. If there are any changes to this schema, the deployment will automatically enforce them. The npx convex dev command updates the generated TypeScript code in the convex/generated directory to provide the end-to-end type safety for your function. That is good. Once this is done, you can use your new server function in your front end. The backend. Okay. We'll create a front end and we'll use Convex over there also. Wait, what we'll do is create another and yeah, create that. what we'll do is like we'll delete what we have made just now, and then restart a new server kind of in the we'll create a new function, everything, or like we'll just call the same thing over there. Yeah, that will also work. So we'll understand how it works. Like if we delete a function, will it like clear everything from the backend also? Mostly it shouldn't, like everything is saved over here, I guess. Delete. Okay, yeah, on next, next, then this parts, right? Not model, will not delete it. Now what we can do is like we can also like integrate the thing with the front end. Right. So we'll open that thing, the folder only, so we don't have any. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Okay, so we have to write in the function, right? The function that was there in the last file is deleted. And this will create a new function called as called it task.ts. In task.ts, where you can import and we will import okay. Then we'll create a function. So almost get all the task, right? About that. get check task definitions. Then then we input it along this. I input it around thing. When did I query and dot slash validate slash so query. I prefer doing this because like I like to see it properly completed when it's like not uh following the whatever. Sorry. Yeah, arguments. Dot radio lists and log data. Yes, why listen to CDX comma a arguments with the CDX task is equal to the widgets dot db on three double query table dot inject index task listed list and comma q is equal to q dot b eq and task file seven eight hundred So this thing should have been updated. Yeah. So yeah, this is the function that we have in the code. Okay, so what this does, it gets the task list from the table task, where the task ID with index as like the task ID. Uh, it gets it in the descending order and it takes like the top 100 tasks, like based on whatever is like in the table. Let's see. Like let's use this in the front end now. We currently don't have anything in this, but like I just wanted to try it, like connect and try it. So app.source stores app.tsx. What it is like we remove the unnecessary stuff from the import use query and import API. Where are the person from dot slash convex dash generated slash API. Okay. Then like in the export function, we can directly what I do is like return data. If not available, then say loading. We need to write a data this launch data is equal to use when API dot tasks dot get task. But the find convex is query it must be that's ChatGPT because I don't have patience to check that on my own. Based on the time it's taking currently, I don't think so. We'll be able to build an app today. Like we'll do the app tomorrow. Reminder takes is you must look at this. For now, we'll continue with reading. It's a separate data and has a separate push process from the personal deployment, dev deployment, which allows you to and your teammates to work on the new features using personal dev deployment without disrupting your app running in the production. You have not created a connection on setting up deployment and PX Convex deployed. It's rare to run and this directly. Most production applications run as an automated workflow that runs the test and deploys your backend and frontend together. You can will the basic of Convex work, how Convex works and fits in your app. Go ahead and explore that area. Read this later. You can read this now. Best practices list of best practices and common entry patterns around using Convex. We recommend going through this list before broadly releasing your app to production. You may choose to try using all of the best practices from the start, or you may wait until you have gotten major parts of your app working before going through and adopting the best practices here. Okay, await all promises. Why? Convex functions use async await. If you don't await your promises, you may run into unexpected behavior, failing to schedule function, missing a handling error. We have to use await. How we recommend no floating promises, ES linked rule with TypeScript. Avoid dot filter on database queries. Okay, so in place of using dot filter, we have to use uh, with index. Filtering in code instead of using the dot filter syntax has the same performance and is generally easier code to write. Condition in with index and with search index are more efficient than dot filter or filtering the code with almost all uses of dot filter should either be replaced with dot with index or dot with such index conditions. Regionalized TypeScript code. Okay, side by side, I'll just like note this down in my notepad. Set values over here to hide over and page convex dashboard as well. Open the dashboard in the browser or like give you the link to your dashboard of the body like current is. Page deploy will deploy it in the production cloud. And like all of these are done and like we go to the best practices. In best practices, in place of using extra filter, use this. Also, await all promises. Use dot collect with the small number of results. Why? All results returned from dot collect count towards the database bandwidth, even once filtered out by the filter. So it also means that if any document in the result changes, query will rerun or a mutation will hit with a hit a conflict. If there is a chance the number of results is large, say 1,000 documents, you should use an index to filter the results further before calling dot collect. Okay, so we should use dot collect with all of it because it use like counts as a bandwidth uses. So like if you say like dot collect with no bound, like all the movies in your database will be listed, and every time there's a change, it will rerun and it will load again all of it. When you like add a filter or like with index, it will only give you the result of both, and then like it will be like less heavy on using variation. So watch movies away, query watch movies with index user in that collect. Variation showing recently watched movie. Watched. Originate variation options. Using a limit or denormalizing. Like this is currently a lot of things to read. For now, we don't need this. Like best practices, we can read later. But this is what I wanted. Uh, with this. So Convex provides an end-to-end support when Convex functions are being written in TypeScript. You can gradually add TypeScript to Convex project. The following steps provide progressively better type support. For best support, you'll want to complete them all. Writing convex functions in TypeScript. The first step to improving the type support in Convex project is to writing your convex functions in TypeScript by using .ts extension. If you are using argument validation, Convex will infer the types of your function arguments automatically. Okay. So the step to improving type support Convex project is to writing a convex function in TypeScript. What we'll do is like I'll continue this now for some time and then I'll sleep because like actually I had a paper and like I didn't sleep enough yesterday. So yeah. Um, Anyways, we won't be able to build a today's stream like mostly tomorrow stream I'll do it like or day after tomorrow, but not today because like it's a lot of things I need to learn all of this first. Like I had thought it would be like easy, but like if you have seen my previous like videos on my other channel, you guys know that like whenever I try to do something, I need to first like get like all of the details related to it. Or without that, like I can't do it because like then I start doubting myself. So yeah, first I'll read all of these documentations and then like we can do it later on. So tomorrow will be the day mostly. I'll read this tomorrow and let's see. And now I'm just sleepy because like anyways I'm asleep for 2 days because like studying for the paper. So yeah. plan the stream. As expected, there were like few like views, live views. Maybe later on there will be people who will be checking it out. But like yeah, this video was like just first time like creating a live video, so I didn't expect much. Plus, I didn't like finish this video because no use of like today's stream because I have fewer views today. Uh, so yeah, mostly we'll do it tomorrow. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, but we won't stop streaming. We'll be streaming like at least once or twice a week. Not currently because at the moment like my SAM exams are starting, so um, I won't be able to have stream daily. And next month, anyways, like December mostly, end of December, yeah. But initial like 2 3 weeks in December and like this month, I will be mostly studying for the SAM exam because like the whole SAM as we follow the engineering thing, right? So we don't like study everything every SAM, like during the SAM, like mostly during the end of the like I have to study everything. So yeah, I have to do that. So yeah, thank you for watching. But yeah, in the next video, right, like the next live stream, we'll directly start with the app. I won't be reading all of this in the next time. We'll directly work on the uh, chat app that we were talking about, and like then I'll host it somewhere. Um, so like y'all can check it out later on. And also I'll add some more features or like I'll make a design of it, like what all will add on it. So like yeah, let's see that later on. And yes, thank you for watching. Like if you have seen the whole stream, or like even half and like skipped some part or whatever.